Why was Alexander the Great so successful? How big was Alexander's empire? What did Alexander the Great look like? Was Alexander the Great a hero or a villain? And how did Alexander the Great defeat Darius III? To find out the answers to these questions and many more, stay tuned until the end of this episode. Alexander the Great's empire stretched from Greece to India. It covered around 2,300 miles. During his reign, he built over 70 cities, one of which was named Alexandria in his honor. The empire he built was one of the largest the world had ever seen. Historians believe Alexander the Great looked a lot like his father, King Philip II of Macedon. He was short for a Greek man, only standing at around 4 feet 11 inches. He was also very muscular and was known to have an athletic build. Unlike most Macedonian kings before him, Alexander didn't have red hair, but rather dark brown hair that was often curled. His most striking feature, however, was his bright blue eyes. Whether you consider Alexander the Great a hero or a villain probably depends on which side of history you read on. If you were Persian, you probably wouldn't have a very favorable view of Alexander. That's because he basically destroyed the Persian Empire. However, if you were Greek, then Alexander was your champion. He led the Greek world to victory against the Persians. He was also responsible for spreading Greek culture throughout the ancient world. As mentioned earlier, he founded over 70 cities. Many of these cities became centers of trade and culture, and they were also home to many Greeks who had never left Greece before. So in short, yes, Alexander the Great was a hero to some and a villain to others. Now it's time to find out how Alexander the Great defeated Darius III. You already know that Alexander's empire stretched from Greece to India. But do you know that just before Alexander came to power, the Persian Empire stretched from Central Europe all the way to the Indus River? Basically, the entire Middle East was under Persian control. Now, when Alexander seized the throne of Macedon at the age of 20, he inherited a war with the Persians. You see, his father, Philip II, had gotten into a massive conflict with the Persians, but Philip was assassinated before he could finish the job. So Alexander had to step up and finish the war. In 330 for BC, Alexander and his army crossed the Hellespont and began their march into Asia Minor, which is now Turkey. There they met the Persian army led by Darius III. The two armies clashed at the Battle of the